All right, can you guys share your story with me?
Yeah, so today we were in Bryant Park and it was really cool because we were walking around and we walked past this one lady and they sat down because like I was kind of hesitant about like starting a conversation and they just like went for it, sat down, and I was like okay, because they took the seats, and then I was like trying to move this chair around so that I could sit down, and Michelle goes, why did y'all like take the seats and not let the lady sit down? And I was like, yeah, what's wrong with you? But then I was kind of joking around with her, and then we started getting into a longer conversation. I was asking her about where she's from and more about that. She's from New Jersey, or she's living in New Jersey now. And then she was like saying how when you get into a conversation with someone, like if you take at least 15 minutes, you're gonna find some sort of connection with them. And so it was really cool because like a minute later, we both were like, she was actually born outside of Harrisburg, and so we're both from like PA, and then later she told us that her daughter is living in Dallas, and I was actually born in Dallas, so that was really cool that we got to like share that connection. And then like throughout the whole day we kept like finding connections with people, and then I asked her kind of like what she believed in, and she said she grew up in a Jehovah's Witness like family, and her parents were really strict, but she's not really like into religion right now, but she looks back on her childhood and is really thankful for what her parents have like taught, like what her parents did for her, like with the strictness, because like that kept her away from a couple things. And then y'all can say your story.
Yeah, so after that we went and sat on the bench for a while and waited for someone to come along that we could talk to. And so I always appreciate a good haircut and a good outfit. I like style. And so we saw this guy just sitting there by himself in the middle of the grass, and he had the coolest haircut I've ever seen. It was like, it was shaved on the side, it was all silver, it was long on the top, and it was kind of like slicked back.
So dope.
So I was like, wow, I love that guy's hair. And they were like, you guys should go talk to him, that's how you start it. So I walked in and I was like, hey, that's really dope hair, how do you do it? And so we started talking about it, and it just went from there. We probably talked for like an hour and 45 minutes, and he was talking about how he goes to Hillsong Church, which is right down the street from it, and it's a mega church. And he was telling us about how he loves what we're doing, because usually kids don't like talking about it, and they don't like talking to people in general, he said, now that we are all on smartphones. And so he was talking about that, and he said he's looking for good places to preach about God. And he was asking us if we have been to everywhere. He was telling us all the places that we should have gone this week. And yeah, and then we asked him to pray, and yeah, that's when it got interesting.
And then so when we all asked him if we can pray for anything you're going through, he's like, yeah. I didn't want to bring this up earlier, but my son went missing 2 months ago, and we were all shocked. It kind of hurt me, because like that's horrible pain you can burden. It's like you can't imagine it. So we're talking, and he says, yeah. So my son. He's actually 29, but what happened is that he lived 2 blocks away from dad, which is Derek. His own name was Luis. So he lived 2 blocks away. So what happened is that he couldn't pay the rent no more in his apartment. So Derek was like, hey, look, come live with me. But his son was like, no, I'm paying my own rent. I want to live in my own house. So he was like, oh, okay. Next thing happened is that he was so, in a sense, couldn't pay for his rent, he got a loan shark. After that, 2 days later, he vanished. So, and it's been 2 months since then that he hasn't seen him, and he's been praying every day to see his son again. And what scares him the most is that he's now been putting up signs saying missing my son, Luis. And it's like when he told us that, like I kind of broke down inside, because like that's horrible. Like no one can imagine that pain you have inside of feeling. It's like. And I wanted to just pray instantly, but I wanted to let him talk first. Then he told the background about his son, and we had one thing in common, is that his son was in the Marines, same with my brother, and they both went into the Marines. His son went when he was 17 to the Marines. My brother went around the same age when he graduated high school. So like we started talking about that, and he's been praying. I hope it's like a secret thing, like he went CIA or something. But like that's his whole. That's like the highlight. His whole praying that's what he's been missing. But like it's so sad that his son went missing. A father losing a son is something that's like the worst thing you can ever imagine. It's something you don't want to go through ever in life. And like right there. So we prayed for him. We all prayed for him. Then we then started talking a little bit more. And then we took a picture all together. So that was like, that was one of the greatest conversations I had ever in life. That was the deepest. Like I was praying last night before I came to the parlor. I was praying like, I hope I can find a deep combo. I hope I can find one. I want to touch someone a lot. Got answered, and I got one yesterday. It was us three all talking. The best moment, the best talk in life I ever had, and it was the best. And I would never ask anything grateful. Like that talk inspired me, and it was amazing. That's all I can say.
It was so amazing that the Michelle lady told her that when you get to know someone, you'll always find something in common. And Derek, the older guy, he told us that he was actually going to move to Reading for his job. He was a designer, but he couldn't do it. He just couldn't leave the city. He loves it too much.
Just walking, sidewalks and everything.
Yeah, we were saying, it's a hard place to leave. Like, we're even sad to leave this week.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So if y'all could just be praying for Michelle, Derek, and Luis.
So that he can get home okay soon.
Yeah.